Friends, are you ready to face a secret that could potentially redraw the map of all North America? Canada, a country known for calm and quiet, is now burning in a political fire. And the biggest twist, Alberta, Canada's top oil-producing province, doesn't just want to separate. It wants to become the 51st state of the United States. Shocking, right? But wait, this isn't some social media hoax. This story is backed by leaked documents, political insiders, and a growing public movement that's gaining power by the day. So the real question is Canada about to break apart? Is Alberta just bluffing? Or are we witnessing the birth of a new United States, one that includes a former Canadian province? Stay with us, because today we're breaking down the facts, the leaks, and the motivations that the mainstream media will never show you. Alberta's growing frustration first. Let's understand why Alberta is so frustrated. This isn't just about politics. It's about deep, long-standing economic resentment. Alberta says, we power all of Canada. Oil sands, gas, resources, everything comes from here. So why are we the biggest target of carbon taxes? Why does the federal government in Ottawa keep making policies that strangle our economy? Since 2022, Alberta's citizens have started saying it out loud. We don't just want autonomy, we want freedom. According to one survey, 41% of Albertans now support full independence, and many openly say, we'd rather be American than be ignored by Ottawa. Leaked documents and the separation blueprint now. Let's talk about the most shocking part. Leaked internal documents supposedly shared between the Alberta Prosperity Project APP and certain political insiders. What did they contain? A step-by-step roadmap for Alberta's separation, provisional agreements with U.S. trade representatives, even a draft plan to adopt the U.S. dollar by 2027, one insider revealed. The plan is clear. Break away from Canadian bureaucracy and adopt the American system: taxes, military aid, trade routes, everything. And the most surprising thing, this movement isn't underground. APP's rallies, town halls, and podcasts are openly inviting people. Let's join the American dream. Danielle Smith's role. Puppet or patriot? Danielle Smith, Alberta's premier, is a highly controversial figure. At first, she denied that Alberta wanted to join the US, but then her tone shifted. Alberta deserves more than crumbs. If the Federation can't respect us, we have to explore alternatives. That's practically a non-verbal green light. Political analysts say even if Smith isn't leading this movement, she's fueling a mood that feels unstoppable. Some of her close aides are linked to US conservative think tanks, and that, probably, isn't just coincidence. If Alberta joins the US, what happens next? A once unthinkable shift suddenly feels real. Close your eyes and imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you check your phone, turn on the news, and every headline is screaming the same thing. Breaking. Alberta officially becomes the 51st state of the United States. What? Yes, you heard that right. Alberta has officially left Canada and joined the United States of America. And with that single move, everything changes. Canada's economic earthquake begins to first shockwave. Canada's GDP plummets by 15. Alberta isn't just another province, it's the heart of Canada's economic engine. Oil, agriculture, technology, natural resources, it all flows from Alberta. Now imagine all of that being rerouted into US control. The Toronto Stock Exchange goes into a tailspin. The Canadian dollar starts to nosedive. Foreign investors pull their money out in panic. Emergency meetings erupt across Ottawa and across Canada. A terrifying question starts spreading. Is Alberta just the beginning? Or is Canada falling apart? Oil and energy now under US control. Let's not forget, Alberta is home to one of the world's largest oil reserves. The moment it becomes part of the US, the entire energy dynamic across North America flips. Think about it. Will the US revive controversial pipelines like Keystone XL? Will Washington now call the shots on energy policy in former Canadian land? Will US finally declare energy independence, not from production, but from political resistance? And perhaps the most chilling question of all, will environmental concerns be cast aside in the race for oil? The Canadian dollar on life support isn't just an economic story, it's a currency crisis. With Alberta gone, Canada's economic balance is shaken. And so is the loonie. Bank of Canada scrambles to contain the fallout. Interest rates are hiked in a panic attempt to stabilize the economy. Confidence in Canada's future is shaken both domestically and globally. The loonie, plunging fast. Foreign reserves draining. The average Canadian facing a very uncertain tomorrow. British Columbia and Saskatchewan. Who's next? Suddenly, it's not just Alberta. British Columbia with its Pacific ports, tech hubs, and trade routes sees an opportunity. Saskatchewan, Alberta's close economic twin, feels left behind. Within days, both provinces demand their own referendums. Western Canada is no longer just discontent, it's unraveling. The idea of a united Canada starts to look like history. A fragmented Canada nightmare or new beginning. The West is leaning toward the US, the East from Quebec to the Maritimes is scrambling for answers. Ontario, isolated and overwhelmed, trying to hold a collapsing federation together. But this isn't just a political fracture, it's cultural, historical, emotional. A nation that once prided itself on multiculturalism, bilingualism, and unity is now facing its biggest identity crisis since Confederation. What does the US stand to gain? So what's in it for the United States? Unparalleled oil access, a strategic Arctic position for military and defense control over vital trade routes, rail lines, and ports, a highly skilled, educated workforce expanded. Northern Territory, a geopolitical dream in essence. America doesn't just gain land, it gains leverage. Globally, but that leverage comes with a price. Unspoken chaos, indigenous rights, legal grey zones, and family fracture slits. Address the elephant in the room. Indigenous nations. Many have land claims, treaties, and constitutional protections under Canadian law, not American. So what happens to their rights? Are treaties honored or overridden? Meanwhile, border towns, families with dual citizenship, and businesses face total confusion. Do Canadian laws still apply in Alberta? Are US immigration laws suddenly enforced? What happens to pensions, healthcare, and education? This isn't just about oil and borders. It's about people, their identity, rights, and future. A geopolitical earthquake in motion happens in Alberta. Will not stay in Alberta. This move could set off global shockwaves. NATO questioned. NAFTA, USMCA rethought. United Nations watching closely. China and Russia analyzing, planning. Energy markets shift. Global alliances tremble, and a new kind of Cold War brews, not ideological, but territorial. The real question, bluff or battle? And now, the ultimate question. Is this real or just political poker? Has Alberta truly decided that Canada no longer works? Or is this one massive, high-stakes bluff to pressure Ottawa? Because here's the truth. Alberta has long expressed frustration with carbon tax equalization payments, federal pipeline policy, specific neglect from Ottawan politicians like Danielle Smith have publicly flirted with the idea of full independence or US statehood. But is this real? Or just a dangerous bluff gone too far? Who's really pulling the strings? Let's dig deeper. Who benefits the most from Alberta's exit? Energy corporations that want fewer regulations. US strategists dreaming of northern expansion. Separatist movements who want to see Canada fail. Tech billionaires hungry for untapped land and tax benefits. Foreign powers eager to see Western democracies divided. This is not just about Alberta. It's not just about Canada. It's a geopolitical chessboard, and Alberta is the queen in play. Some say this is just a bluff to get a better deal. Others warn, if we take this lightly, Canada may be broken up by 2030. Danielle Smith has not openly supported the movement, but she hasn't opposed it either, which means the game is still wide open. So friends, the decision now lies in your hands. Is this all just hype? Or are we truly standing at the edge of Canada's breakup? Tell us in the comments. Should Alberta separate? Will the United States accept it? And if it happens, can Canada survive?